Hello and welcome to your yoga practice. I'm Phoenix Wilson. Today's class is being brought to you by the Baker Hunt Art and Cultural Center with support from the Charles H. Dater Foundation. Alright, so in today's class I want to share with you a 10 to 15 minute short practice where we're going to focus on some poses to help relieve tension in the lower back. We'll also be focusing briefly on stretching and lengthening through the hamstrings. Alright, so as you know, I like to say if we're doing anything that causes any pain or discomfort, that's your cue to ease off, skip that pose, and we can always make adjustments and modifications as we go along. So let's go ahead, roll out our mat, our beach towel, whatever we have in our home for our space, and we'll begin. The first pose we're going to start with is a pose we call child's pose. You're probably familiar with it if you've been in a yoga class before. We want to have our knees a little wider than hip width apart so it gives a hollow place for the torso and belly to rest. And if you do feel tension in your knee, under your knee, you could put an extra blanket or something under the knee. But also if you feel pressure in your knee, you can put a little rolled like hand towel or something in between the calf and hamstring if you felt pressure there. So we're just going to let our hip settle back towards our heel. The head, forehead resting to the floor. And the hands can just rest to the mat, or if it's more comfortable, the hands rest under the forehead. Let the eyes for a moment close. And just start to notice your breathing. Nice in-breath and long, easy out-breath. In and out through the nose. As we pause here, may we feel that any tension of the body just has an opportunity to melt out of the body into the floor. Any angst or tension of the mind, imagine all of that extraneous thought just melting out of the mind and to the floor. Let's take one more breath here. If this feels quite comfortable, of course you can stay longer in any pose as you choose. And then from there, we're going to actively reach forward through the arms. And meanwhile, press your hip down towards the heel and begin to stretch your arms over left or right. And take that forwardmost arm and really create length from the hip to the fingertips. Let's take a breath here. And on the exhale, walk your hands across to the other side. Reaching through that most forward arm, you'll feel the length from the hip to your fingertip. Good, and let's come all the way through. We're just going to kind of come back to center, come back onto our mat to table pose. So roughly the knee under the hip, roughly the hand underneath the shoulder. On the exhale, start to round the spine, cat-cow. Exhale, rounding the back, tailbone and the crown of the head folding towards the floor. Inhale, lift through the tailbone and then lifting upward through the collarbones. This yoga stretch, cat-cow, is one I do pretty much every single day. Let's just do one more. And then go ahead and round your spine and give just a little movement of the rib cage side to side. And then we're going to start to circle the hip down towards the heel, up and around to the side. We're just kind of making this circular motion through the hip from table pose, going a few times, both directions. And then we're coming right back to table. Good. So let's go ahead, curl the toes in, press the hips back to the heel, and then stretch the hips to the sky. You can always walk the feet a little further back as you need to. We want to create length of our spine. So rather than the chest kind of leaning forward, we're going to slightly bend the knee if we want to. Press the chest back towards the thigh and lift the hip to the sky. Long spine. And it's okay if we have our knees bent right now or just starting to kind of walk a little further up on my mat. We're just wanting to begin to create length through the spine. We can start to walk out the legs a little bit. We bend one knee, let the other heel lengthen to the floor. Let's take a nice breath in, and I'm going to lift my right leg first towards the sky. And I'm going to hug the heel towards the hip, and meanwhile the other heel is nudging towards the ground. Drawing this foot all the way forward. If it doesn't come forward in one fell swoop, bring the back knee to the floor and help nudge that foot between the hands. Now start to roll back through your whole right hip, lengthening into the right hamstring. Let's take a nice breath in. The exhale, bend the knee. Lift up a little twist, right arm to the sky if your right leg's forward. Gently fold back in. One more time, roll back through the hip. Relax the head towards the knee or shin. Bend the knee. Let's place our hands to the mat and back up again through the leg to downward dog. Bring our foot to the mat and change. Other leg high to the sky. Hugging this heel to the hip. And then again, rolling the knee forward all the way up between the hands. Let our hands be under the shoulders. And remember, we've worked before with a chair. If we wanted to elevate the floor, we certainly could here with a chair. We're going to roll back now through our left hip, or this forward leg hip, lengthening into the hamstring. As you exhale, bend the knee. Rise with your left arm, your left chest rising to the sky. Exhale, folding in, roll back again through the hip. Bending the knee. Hands right to the mat. Lift again this leg to the sky for a moment. And then just walk out the legs a little bit. As we exhale, find our way through to plank pose, like that push-up pose. If you want, the knees could come down first. We're going to lower all the way into the mat. Hands alongside the chest. Feel as though you could draw your tailbone or pelvis to the floor, creating length in your lower back. Inhale, rise, whether high or low. Exhale, fold. So even a low cobra is great. We're just keeping the shoulders back. We only rise as high as it's comfortable in our low back. Exhale, fold. Last time, third time, we're going to in-breath rise. If it's comfortable, maybe look a little bit over the shoulder. Back gently to center. Curl the toes in. Just hands and toes touch the floor. Upward dog, leaning back, downward dog. Let's take a breath in for 3, 2, 1. And again, exhale to plank. Lower easy to the floor. Inhale, rise to cobra. Gentle fold. Let's do that 2 more times. In-breath, cobra. Exhale. Tailbone or pelvis pressing to the floor as we breathe in and rise through the chest. Gentle exhale. Curl the toes in. Upward dog. Downward dog. Pausing here again for a nice long breath. And then just rolling the knees gently back to the floor, resting back where we began to child's pose. Taking 3 or so deep breaths in and out through the nose. We'll just rise easily back up and through. Child's pose can also be a really nice pose just to calm the mind and calm the body. So even if we just do that pose, it can be a wonderful stretch for the back and to relax the mind. From here, let's go ahead and come easy to our back, comfortably to the floor. And so we're just going to start by bringing the knees into the chest and give a little rock on your back, side to side. And it doesn't matter, we can have our hands around the knees or shins, or not, whichever is most comfortable. And we're actually going to start to circle the knees to the ceiling, a little bit like this clockwise, counterclockwise motion again. Massaging the hip and low back into the floor. Gentle hug of the knees to the chest. And then gently exhale, let the legs fold to the left, a twist. Coming back, and exhale, twist to the right. Rise. One more time, let your legs fold to the left, soft twist. Rise again and over to the left, a gentle twist, or right side, either direction. We're going to come right back to center, knees hug in. Let's bring our right foot to the floor, knee is bent, and then lengthen the left leg to the ceiling. So I'm just going to hold either to the hamstring or the calf, doesn't matter, preferably not behind the knee. And then to emphasize a greater stretch into this leg, press your heel towards the sky and imagine the tiptoes could curl towards your kneecap, engaging this deeper stretch into the calf and into the hamstring. We're just going to pause here as we breathe easy. And then with time, as we exhale, we might see if the leg wants to come a little closer. Just this gentle invitation. We'll just breathe out, gentle and easy. Let that leg stretch all the way to the floor. Reach long through that arm and leg. And soften, reach through that arm and leg. And relax. Good. Let's bend that knee and take our other leg to the sky. Reach through our heel and pause. Sometimes I like to just give a little circle in the ankle and then really begin to once more emphasize that rise of the heel to the sky, tiptoe curls to the knee. That action right there generally creates this nice sensation or stretch in the right hamstring and calf. So we'll pause here. Let's again take a nice breath in, longer exhale. We'll bend this knee, this bottom leg, so we eliminate any possible tension in the lower back. However, if you preferred, it could just rest full to the floor. And then again, on our exhale, slow and easy, letting this leg lower to the floor. And reaching long through your right side, right leg and arm, softening, and again extending, softening. Let's take both arms and legs, reach far across the room, let go, and then bring the arms to rest softly to your side. Allow your eyes to close, the eyelids are heavy. The jaw is relaxed, the muscles of the face soft and supple. We'll pause here for a brief moment, feeling the full weight and ease of your body relaxing to the ground. Sense of relaxation in the eyelids, the forehead. 3 more long, easy, and full breaths simply here. And then on your next in-breath, bring a little movement in the wrist and ankles. Draw the knees to your chest. Soft rock on the back, side to side. Another wonderful pose to do just to help relieve tension in the back. Pretend I had a chair here. You'd actually have a real chair or an ottoman or something, and rest your calves in that support. So you almost create this 90-degree angle between calf, hamstring, and your lower back. So you definitely have support there. I don't have a chair at the moment, but that can be a nice restorative pose to do as well. From here, let's go ahead and just gently roll over to one side. Take a breath. And use our hands, arms to bring us all the way back through, gently to our upright seat. So when you come to this practice, remember you're welcome to stay in the poses longer than my time really permits in the recording. And you can always pick 1 or 2 poses and just practice those. I once had a Tai Chi teacher say to me, practice on the days you feel like it and practice on the days you don't. And that has just been such good encouragement through the years. And it's really when we keep the dedication to our practice that we are able to benefit from it and really draw harness the benefits of that practice. So I hope you are all doing well. I am grateful we can practice in this space together. I will look forward to being back with you next week. Share any comments or feedback you have of things you'd like me to focus on in the coming weeks. And to good health. Take good care of yourselves, and thank you again for joining me here.